Hey everyone, since we have a new Michael Myers Halloween movie coming out this month from the writers of Oh Good God, I wanted to start off this review by asking, do you guys want me to review this? I honestly can't tell if you guys want me to review this or not. Okay, I'm reviewing it. In 2007, a remake of the scary and subtle John Carpenter classic, Halloween, was released and directed by the most subtle person for the part, Rob Zombie. Because there's one thing this man is known for, it's subtlety. You would think that this remake would be bashed like any other reboot of a horror film, but surprisingly, this one has two different opinions from people. Some like the changes and updates to the series, while others just thought it was pointless. Where do I stand on this? Well, seeing how this got me back into the series 10 years ago, let's see if it holds that same candle that it gave to me that long ago.
Oh, no you don't, boy. I'm not letting this one slide under my radar that easily. I'm gonna join you talking about Rob Zombie's middle finger to John Carpenter's classic, and you can't take no for an answer.
Okay.
Oh, well, alright then. Wait a minute. You're okay with me joining you?
Yeah, totally.
But I thought internet reviewers always whine about crossovers. They're like, no, I don't want to do this.
I don't think so. I mean, it's 2018. I think some internet reviewers would have gotten rid of that trope.
True that. So, should we start the movie?
Oh, yeah, this is Halloween.
This is Halloween, this is Halloween.
Not that one! We start off with this movie's version of the Myers house, where we get the young soon-to-be killer himself, Michael. Now in the original, the reason on why he killed his sister was never explained, which made it creepy to find out that it was a little kid. But here, we can find out since we see young Michael's backstory by showing 40 minutes out of this 2-hour-long movie. So let's see the reason why he did this.
Bitch, I will crawl over there and I will skull fuck the shit out of you.
Oh, I'll get the crutches for you. I hate you.
And I hate you too. You see this? As soon as this heals, I'm gonna break it again on your fucking face.
Enough.
So pretty much it's caused by a dysfunctional family. The Jackson 5 would be proud, Rob. I mean, this is literally the first 2 minutes of the movie and we already know why he's insane. But why do we have to stay here for the extra 38? It's like spending the night at a friend's place, then waking up to see all of them arguing. You would just wish your parents just picked you up sooner. Sadly, things don't get better at school, where Michael is picked on by Junie from Spy Kids.
I was thinking of making copies of Mommy for the whole school. Hey, tough guy.
Shut up! Shut up!
They start to fight, but it's stopped by the principal, for once in the school, played by, surprisingly, the guy from Werewolf, as Michael's mom is called down about his behavior, and gets to meet Dr. Loomis, played by Malcolm McDowell of Clockwork Orange and Tank Girl fame, with a hip 70s haircut. Look how full of himself he is with it, as they both show her a bag and pictures of slaughtered animals.
Oh, this is really sick. Are you saying Michael did this?
Well, duh!
Ever notice all of his pets keep going missing, or why there's blood covering his sink every morning in your surprisingly nice house?
Wow, those welfare checks were huge in the 70s.
Fucking whore!
Michael believes that it may be something bad as he runs out, where, for some reason, the Halloween theme starts playing.
What do you mean problems? What is this?
He's a very disturbed young man. I have to evaluate him, and I'd like to interview him. I need to take...
I'm running towards a better sounding movie!
Hancock?
Wait, wasn't this theme usually played during the scary parts? All that's happening is Michael is following around the bully from earlier, and that's just it. When it starts playing, Michael is looking like, Really? This is how we're introducing my song? Okay, whatever. And then he runs like me when I was in gym class.
I think where it really works is when he puts on his old mask later on in the film. They should have saved it until then. And as for the scene where he's killing the bully, they should have used any other song from the original.
Later that night, Michael is ready for trick-or-treating, but his mom has to work. Strip. And his sister is too busy getting it on with her boyfriend, who wants to spice things up by wearing a William Shatner mask, because Rob Zombie movie.
Take that stupid thing off.
Come on, babe. I want to do it with the mask on.
So far, Myers' backstory is dysfunctional parents, and the iconic mask was from a couple who were having sex. Just one of many things to add to the Halloween WTF folder. Michael decides to duct tape his father to a chair, which makes me wonder how long was he sleeping for him to apply that much tape, as he kills him, the boyfriend, and his sister for... Honestly, I don't think there's any particular reason on why he's doing this. Yes, he was bullied, but he didn't have to kill people.
And also, the idea of anyone snapping and killing in a safe neighborhood for no reason is scary enough. It at least runs circles in your mind about the idea of him being a pawn for some cult, or a fuse in his brain finally switched on, causing him to go on a rampage.
His mom comes home to see not only Michael and his baby sister on the front porch, but the rest in the house that he murdered. This causes him to be taken to the Smiths Grove Mental Hospital and to be studied over by Loomis.
So you remember nothing about the killing? You remember nothing about getting a knife?
I didn't do that.
I do have to admit, that's pretty interesting. Michael is in denial about doing the murders on that night. It really makes you question either how much does he know and what he's not telling us, or if it's just some split personality type situation.
I do also like how Loomis tries to comfort Michael in this version. It is interesting to see him being sympathetic, because he still has to remember that this is a kid. I do understand the reason why the way he was in the original. It was to build up the danger of him, but it's still nice to see what made him go through such a change. Well, it probably has something to do with him killing people with no security around.
It seems Michael is unpredictable and dangerous, which then leads to his mother committing suicide, as he's locked away for years. Holy hell, what have they been feeding him in here? He's huge!
Hi, I'm Michael Myers, and I'm a proud sponsor for P90X.
So after 15 years of Michael not talking, Loomis decides it's time to move on to better movies. Oh wait, and shocking enough, he even calls Michael his best friend.
In a weird way, you've become like my best friend.
Too bad he calls him a psychopath in the very next scene.
These are the eyes of a psychopath.
I guess publicity just brings out the worst in people.
Later that night, two hillbillies decide to rape one of the patients in the rooms, and they pick the best one. Inside a room of a murderous psychopath who makes creepy but cool masks. Oh, I wonder what made him act so bad.
That's a mystery.
There is an alternate scene where Michael escapes. It's where he's being transferred by different guards and he starts killing them all. The only difference is that this one isn't very rapey. I know I shouldn't be asking this, but what is with the Halloween series and rape?
Michael returns to his old home where he grabs his mask that's more comfortable, and also there's a scene where the theme works better at. Seriously, what was that playing the theme near the beginning?
We then meet the survivor of the original, Laurie. And I do admit, unlike there where she was scared from seeing Michael for the first time, here she calls him out on it.
Hey, freak! Hey, my daddy's the sheriff! Why don't you go crawl back under your fucking rock?
So the rest is what you expect. Michael follows Laurie, he plays some of the same music, and he starts murdering people on Halloween night.
Pretty much. You can think of it as a rehash of the original or a reimagining, but at least they're not doing it shot for shot like the '98 version of Psycho where they copied every single damn scene.
I also really like when Michael is sneaking up on people, you hardly even notice him. Sure, sometimes you can see him in daylight, but during the nighttime, you really can't unless you turn up the brightness on your TV screen. With how this movie's playing out, it's nice to see subtle touches like that.
After finding out that Michael escaped, Loomis heads to Haddonfield to warn Sheriff Brackett, played by Chucky from Child's Play himself, Brad Dourif.
We're dealing with a soulless killing machine driven by pure animal instinct.
I read your book. I know exactly who you are, and frankly, I don't like you. Because monsters sell books.
Well, that explains E.L. James, but I don't know what that has to do with Loomis. So in a mix of the first two movies, Loomis tells Brackett that Laurie is Michael's sister, and he's come to kill her. And we don't see her die, because compared to everyone else in the movie, she's the closest thing to a likable character, aside from raping bagels.
Laurie! I'm sorry, Okay.
Again, what is it with this series and rape? And speaking of Laurie, while she's babysitting, she gets a visit from her friend Annie, played by Halloween 4 and 5 star Danielle Harris. As she drops off her sister and talks to Laurie about her crush, Ben Tramer.
So, what'd he say?
He said, and I quote, "Dude, she's fucking hot."
Really?
Uh-huh.
Laurie having a chance with Ben Tramer.
He came out of nowhere. I couldn't stop.
Yeah, no.
While they're driving, Brackett tells Loomis about what happened to Laurie after her mother shot herself.
And I see this beautiful, innocent baby sitting in this bloody mess. I omit her from the report. I drive her to another town and drop her off at the nearest emergency room.
So I guess the best police code in the town is to serve, and who cares?
But before he goes after Laurie, Michael still has a few people to add to the body count.
Oh, you're here! Wow.
Oh wow, that's the move of someone who can brutally murder people. A slap! Look out for that boogeyman, he might slap you!
I don't know why, but why do I think of this when he's slapping her?
Bitch, please.
Laurie's walking Annie's sister home, but as she opens the door, they see the horrific fright. Oh my god! That jack-o'-lantern looks great! Say what you will about him killing people, but Michael's a pretty good pumpkin carver.
He then comes face to face with Laurie as she runs away with the camera trying to go down the crapper. Yeah, for whatever reason, for certain parts of the movie, the camera work is either being zoomed in too much or it's way too shaky. I think the camera people are on loan from Michael Bay and Zack Snyder.
Michael knocks Laurie out and takes her back to his old home to reveal that he's her brother. I guess this was all he had planned to do because Laurie has enough time to psych him out by wanting to help him.
You motherfucker!
Laurie tries to escape, but she falls into the backyard pool.
You know, with how Laurie psyched him out, what if Michael starts doing the same?
Oh, don't worry about the knife. I was just making some chocolate cake. Yeah, that's it. So I was wondering if you wanted me to cut you a piece of cake.
Michael! Stop!
Look, Loomis, I'm just trying to give my baby sister some chocolate cake. I just want to give her some cake. I just want to give her some cake. Can you just let me give her some... Oh, I'm going down.
Loomis guns him down, takes Laurie away, and now it's time for wait for that jump scare.
Loomis tries to talk to Michael as he has the right response.
Let her go.
by pushing in his eyes. Laurie manages to hide in the house as he takes his sweet-ass time looking for her. Now I get that it's dark, so it'd be hard to see anybody, but I've timed it. He looks for her for nearly 5 minutes. He had an easier time looking for her in the Atari 2600 game.
So after a while of not finding her, he decides to do a little home improvement and starts banging on the ceiling.
You stupid wall, stupid wall, you stupid wall.
Which kind of works, causing Laurie to accidentally fall down.
$3.51. $3.51. Rover, sit. Hut, hut.
Laurie then gets up and then she's like, oh yeah, I have a gun. She shoots him, screams, shows old home movies, and that's how the movie ends.
Good, because I think this movie is horrible. Don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people who enjoy this. Kudos to you, but I simply can't find any enjoyment here. It's either trying too hard, or it's just way too annoying, with its over-the-top redneck world from that of Devil's Reject.
Personally, I still like the movie, but not as much as I used to. I can easily classify this as a junk food movie. You know, the one that's not good for you, but still has some enjoyability to it? And with people talking about liking or hating it, this is interesting that the debate is being talked about by people who just flat out hate horror remakes. I do admit that it has some serious flaws, like it being annoying, and how the second half just turns into a rushed remake of the original, but I'm still able to enjoy the movie despite those problems. So, I guess the only thing to say is for people who haven't seen it, is to check it out and draw your own conclusion. And that was our review of the remake of Halloween, and thanks for doing this with me, Austin.
No problem.
Well, this is even more awkward.
Yeah, I figured we'd just have some sort of silent standoff at the beginning of the video. You know what? Let me break the ice. What are you doing next week?
I don't know. Let me look. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Well, I might as well get this one out of the way. So what do you say, Austin? Want to tackle this one with me? Well, that's a fitting reaction.
NBC's Movie of the Week returns following these messages.
Killer outfit. Too bad the nightlife sucks. Dracula returns to Castlevania on Nintendo 64 from Konami.
Now it's time for the Pizza Head Show.
Hey everybody, I'm done trick-or-treating and now I'm gonna go for a stuffed crust pizza at Pizza Hut. Yay!
Not yet, Pizza Head. There's one more place to go.
I don't think anyone's home.
Sure there is.
Hello, trick-or-treat. Interesting hieroglyphics on this pizza. Ah!
Quick, Pizza Head, let's go upstairs.
Hey, who is here anyway?
It's your host, Count Steve.
Oh, nice place. You got it. I want to go to Pizza Hut now.
The Count will be happy to give you a lift.
Oh, hey, put me down! Put me down!
See you next time.
Boo!
Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, coming to video cassette.
Halloween continues starring Donald Pleasance and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Some of you may recall that last year, I reviewed both versions of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. It was a complete and utter mess, including Michael being a pawn for some cult, the dumbass endings, and of course Michael raping his niece becoming Uncle Dad to the newborn baby. This was what I considered to be the worst installment in the whole series. But then Rob Zombie said hold my beer and decided to make a sequel to his 2007 remake. This of course being Halloween 2. Now of course, Zombie himself said that he would never make a sequel to his remake, but he finally gave in and was able to direct and also write the film. Does it show? With Rob, it's hard to tell. A lot of people said that this movie was the one that killed the franchise. This was the same thing said for Halloween 6, H2O, which leaned towards the right direction, but Resurrection was the final nail in the coffin. Then comes this movie, and is this the one that really did the franchise in? Well, that's what we're gonna find out here today. Let's wrap up Craptober with Halloween 2. We start off with a flashback of Michael's mother going to see him at Smith's Grove.
What kind of dream? Was it a good dream or was it a bad dream?
You were dressed in all white, like a ghost, like a really beautiful ghost, saying you were gonna come and take me back home.
That, and I dreamed about being played by someone completely different looking than me last time. I mean, geez, I look like I haven't slept in days.
Cheer up. Alright, okay, no more gloom.
So after that, we then pick up from right where the last film ended off. As in literally with Laurie shooting Michael. She's taken to the hospital so the doctors can fix her up, as we see Sheriff Brackett, once again played by Brad Dourif, talking to the paramedics about Michael's body.
When the boys get him over to county, just make sure that they lock the place up tight. I don't want any surprises until I get there in the morning.
Don't worry, Brackett. I'm sure nothing will happen on the drive there.
You'll be sorry!
We then see the paramedics drive with Michael's body in the back, as they talk about the best thing in that line of work, having sex with a corpse. Yes, really.
I heard a story about a couple of meat wagon boys fucking corpses over in Essex.
Hey, you can't jelly your cock up a dead girl's ass.
There's a special place in hell for you guys. In fact, they might get there early as they hit a brick wall dressed up as a cow, killing the driver and really injuring the passenger. But while we're at it, let's count how many times this guy drops the F-bomb.
Nine times.
9 times.
Don't get me wrong, I get that he's in pain, but does he really need the F word to drive home the point? Why not add a shit or bitch in there to mix it up? Anyway, while this is going on, Michael's able to break through his straps, killing the remaining guy, and walks down the lonely road, the only one that he've ever known, and sees the ghost of his dead mother dressed in white with the white horse he was talking about in the beginning. I would say that Zombie was high when he came up with this, but we actually do have an answer. Kind of. According to an interview with Zombie, he stated that the white horse was an idea for a great visual image and was him trying to find something that was significant and that it also can be tied through Michael into Laurie.
So what do you see? White horse?
It's kind of a fair answer, but it comes off as silly and out of nowhere at the same time. Because, let's face it, it's Sherry Moon Zombie standing in the middle of nowhere with a frickin' horse. Getting back to the movie, Laurie wakes up in the hospital as she goes to the front desk to ask about something for her head. But one of the nurses has a message for you, ma'am.
Man, I got here quick. It was all thanks to my Uber driver.
Before Michael goes after Laurie, he decides to finish this nurse off. And no joke, I counted. He stabs her close to over 12 times. And I get that Rob wanted to make the sequel feel more realistic and violent than the first one. But first of all, you've already screwed up being realistic with Ghost Bomb here. But second about this being violent, it doesn't feel like it at all. It soon comes off as hilarious with the amount of times he stabs her. Jeez. Laurie's able to get out of the hospital and tries to get help from the security guard outside.
This old car doesn't always like to start.
Gotcha, bitch!
Well, it's obvious that Michael wanted to ask him a question. Hey, you're all just jealous that you didn't think of it first. I do have to admit that this part of the movie is really good and suspenseful, but it doesn't last for long as Laurie wakes up, revealing that it was one of many bad dreams that she's been having since that night. It also turns out that she now lives with Sheriff Brackett and her daughter Annie, once again played by Daniel Harris. And we see that their relationship is a bit bumpy since the last movie.
What am I supposed to say? Boo fucking who for you?
See? You don't fucking care.
Back the fuck off. Or what? Huh? The fuck are you gonna do?
The reason why they're at each other's throats is explained when Laurie goes to talk to her shrink, played by the late Margot Kidder, that every time she looks into Annie's face and sees those scars, she's reminded of that night. This is really interesting to see. Even though the movie takes place 2 years after the last one, it's surprising to see Laurie still trying to cope with those events. But don't worry, a good change for a character isn't for everyone. As we then cut to Dr. Loomis, played once again by Malcolm McDowell, who is now a sellout seeing how he's written another book about Michael Myers titled The Devil Walks Among Us, which is about the events of the last movie. So, rather than interacting with the characters from last time, he's now too busy with going to book signings, appearing on TV, giving speeches, and being an asshole to his assistant.
When I want your opinion, I'll beat it out of you.
What a dick.
I know a lot of people didn't like the portrayal of Loomis in the last one, which I didn't mind personally, but here, it doesn't feel like it's the same character at all. Speaking of speeches, while Loomis is at one of them, people start asking questions if he thinks Michael will ever return.
The authorities haven't been able to produce a body. Do you think Michael's alive or dead?
Here we go again. Let me make things nice and sparkling clear. Michael Myers is fucking dead. D-E-A-D.
Well, that's what a lot of people said after this movie bombed. Later in that night, we see a group of people dealing with a hermit who keeps coming to their land. After they get done beating the shit out of him, it's then revealed that it's Michael as he puts on his nostalgia goggles to kill him. A lot of people seem to not like the hobo Myers look, and it was pretty controversial. Keep in mind that the only outfit we've seen Michael in was the white mask and overalls. But once again, I really don't mind this change, and it kinda makes sense, because if Michael only attacks on Halloween, what would he be doing the rest of the year? He wouldn't be grocery shopping, living in a nice house, or even cracking a cola with the boys. No, he would be homeless because a lot of people walk past hobos like if they were invisible. That, and I think his likeness from the last movie would be on the front page of every newspaper. So after killing all three of them, we get the scariest thing in the movie. Pineapples on pizza! Laurie starts not to feel well as the pizza starts to taste like a dog. Mainly because Michael starts eating a dog around the same time. Yup, just like in Halloween 5, there's a psychic or mental connection between Myers and a relative. Why? It made no sense in that movie, so I have no idea why Rob Zombie would think that it could work here. Afterwards, Michael starts seeing his mother as well as his younger self, and... Whoa, what's happening here? I'm seeing a crucified Michael Myers, man. This is some freaky deaky shit. Seriously, this is the type of imagery you would see from the dark web, not from a Michael Myers Halloween film. I mean, it looks cool, but if I showed you the scene out of context, would you think that this was from the same series? According to the same interview I mentioned before with Zombie, he tried to find some meaning of dreams, but he said to him that it was all a bunch of bullshit. Well, he got that part right. Laurie starts having the same type of dreams too, as she starts to dream about killing Annie the same way Michael did to his father when he was younger. Oh my god, the flashing lights are back! Guess you could say he also took inspiration from Halloween 6. This is also annoyingly loud too, so it's flashing lights and loud noises at the same time! Oh my god! So after that attack on your visual and auditory systems, we cut to Loomis at a book signing where he gets a not so happy visit from the father of one of the girls Michael murdered.
This is my daughter. Uh-huh. Your monster killed her.
Wait. No.
You butchered her.
Everything is all fine until he pulls out a gun. How the hell was he able to sneak that past security when he entered the place? I think Haddonfield might be the most unsafe place to live. Imagine there being a commercial on TV for this place. It would probably be like, what a nice place to live, where Halloween comes to life. Except that we're known for a large string of murders due to an escaped mental patient. Well, come on down to Haddonfield, Illinois. Our town is kinda fucked up. Just like the 1981 version of Halloween 2, Laurie manages to find out who she really is. This time it's apart from Loomis's book. So of course she's upset and freaking out about it, even to the point where she leaves the brackets and goes to talk to one of her friends from work.
I'm Angel Myers. Michael Myers' sister.
Alright, this is a scene where she just found out her true identity and she has some friends to get some comfort from. Help her calm down and try to figure this out. So, what does Laurie do? Decides that they all should go to a Halloween party and get totally shit-faced. Clearly the best decision to make here. It's like when I found out I was related to the Blair Witch. I got high off my ass and went to a rave. It's nice to know that Rob Zombie put in a soon-to-be emotional moment, followed by, yeah, screw that noise, I just want to dance. Sure, one of my friends is being murdered outside, but why care about that when I'm turning into Amy Winehouse? Man, this party's awesome. Right next door there's a guy in a hockey mask on fire killing people. We then see Loomis watching one of his appearances on TV, where we get a bizarre cameo from Chris Hardwick and Weird Al Yankovic.
Nothing more than a bloody horror show showcasing Dr. Loomis's own self-inflated ego and never-ending quest for fame and fortune. Snap! You got snapped on by Weird Al?
You know, with Weird Al being here, it kinda makes sense with the movie. Everything you know is wrong, black is white, up is down, and short is long, and everything you thought was just so important doesn't matter. But honestly, I don't think Weird Al is the strangest thing in the movie. It's when this trick-or-treater walks into Michael.
Are you a giant? Can we be friends?
Okay, that should not be the reaction of seeing that type of man. I think any other kid on that night will probably be like this.
Oh, sorry, mister. I didn't see you there.
So after finding out around the same time as Laurie, Brackett decides to have a cop go over to his house and... well, he didn't last long. Sad thing is that he only had 2 days left until retirement. Laurie comes home that night with her friend Maya, to only see the house a mess and a bleeding out Annie.
Maya, I need you to call 911. We're at 15, we're at 15 sharing...
Yoink! Well, she was pointless. Laurie manages to run away from Michael and tries to get a ride from Sean Whalen in an even weirder cameo.
You're alright. You're alright. It's okay.
My role in this was pointless!
Michael then lifts the car because he saw the Hulk do it once, as it works, making Laurie unconscious and Michael carries her away. Brackett gets another call from his house, and unlike last time where he saw Annie all sliced up, this time, she's gone.
Oh, no, Andy. No! No!
He puts a lot of blame on Loomis and is ready to put a bullet in his head for his actions.
I want to shoot him. Shoot him! I want to fucking shoot him!
It's some heavy stuff, and it's surprisingly the best part of the movie. They manage to find where Michael is keeping Laurie as Loomis comes to right his wrongs, but like I mentioned, Brackett doesn't want anything to do with him.
Michael's never gonna respond to hostage negotiations. Get the fuck out of here. Listen, I can join that. Get the fuck out of here! Alright, alright! I can walk from here, okay?
Okay, I know it's not that much to laugh about, but with how Loomis runs by, it reminds me of that Skeletor meme. Loomis then confronts Michael and tries to take Laurie with him. But she can't because to her, she's being held down by young Michael. But to Loomis, it looks like she's having a temper tantrum. Michael throws Loomis through a wall like the Kool-Aid Man as he takes off his mask revealing his face. And with how he looks, I think some people would confuse him for Rob Zombie.
No!
It wasn't?
No,
Looks
that's
like
ever made!
Michael, for God in heaven, die! Oh! Die!
Yeah. Michael just spoke. And after being silent for 17 years, the first thing he says is, die? I don't hate the idea of him speaking. Hell, we had 40 minutes of that in the last movie. But if he was going to speak, it should be for the alternate ending where he says, I love you to Laurie. But really? After giving the silent treatment for almost 20 years, all he has to say is, die? Die! It makes no sense. So yeah, like I said, there are 2 different endings to this movie. Are they about as confusing as the ones in Halloween 6? Yeah, sort of. Let's start with the unrated version. After Michael stabs Loomis, he is shot multiple times. Laurie then comes out of the shack, where for some reason she's then gunned down too. I first saw this movie via the unrated DVD in 2010, and I still have no idea why they shot her. But as she's laying there, we transition to her in a white room where she sees her mom and the horse. This can be portrayed as being the last thing Laurie sees as she's there dying. Then we get to the theatrical ending, which a lot of people have seen when this movie premiered. This time, Michael slices and dices Loomis as a cop manages to shoot him and he falls onto a thing of spikes. Laurie comes to comfort Michael and proceeds to stab him multiple times. So, even though he could survive being shot right in the face, how can he survive being stabbed? Anyway, Laurie walks out of the shack wearing Michael's mask as it transitions to the white room just like the other ending. Now I don't know if this was the original plan from Zombie or this is just a fan theory, but a lot of people have speculated that Laurie is the new boogeyman. So the whole time, Michael was dead from the last movie and was just a hallucination, and Laurie was the new killer. Thus the white room could be her in the hospital, and the only thing we have to prove of this is her wearing Michael's mask. And on that note, I don't buy it. I mean, with some of the kills I can understand, but with the others, I call 100% bullshit. How is she able to teleport to strangle this cop? How is she able to break either this guy's arm or stomp in someone's face? How is she able to lift an entire car? Unless she's on the same type of steroids her brother was given in the hospital, I still call bullshit. Plus, even when they try to pull the same gimmick of making somebody into the new Michael Myers, because now counting this, they've tried it 3 times. Either way, I'm not happy with these endings. One, the main character is hinted at being the killer, the other one, she dies. I'm left confused and pissed off. If I were to describe my thoughts on this movie in one image, I think it would be this one. That seems about right. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is bad. It's confusing, annoying, frustrating to understand the endings, but is it worse than Halloween 6? Well, it's like comparing Sonic Boom Ride's lyric to Sonic 06. Both are bad, but you'll hate one more than the other. Personally, the fact with how much Halloween 6 frustrated me with 2 different cuts of the movie, there were just more things to get pissed off in the movie than there was here. Because the only thing that makes me want to pull the hair out of my head is the different endings in 2 movies. However, unlike Halloween 6, there are some good things here, like having a tortured Laurie still trying to cope with the events of that night, the new look for Michael is very interesting to see, and sometimes those dream sequences are stylish if they do come out of nowhere. But the negatives overshadow the positives, and this is another bad Halloween sequel. So just like Curse of Michael Myers, nobody's going to be rewatching neither of these pieces of shit. And that ends this year's Crabtober. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and... what the hell? Okay, seriously, what is it with my life and having possessed DVDs trying to kill me? Alright, the hell with this.
Was that the bad movie?
As a matter of fact, it was. Hey, call Blockbuster Video. Tell the manager, it's on the loose!
Is this some kind of a joke? I've been trick-or-treated like hell tonight. You don't know what hell is.
Not when I shift into maximum overdrive. Hi-ya!